So for me, I think the best case for using web components would be how easy they make it for design consistency when creating a web page. So I found this really great video on YouTube. You can see the link up here for it. And it just kind of demonstrated some of the features of web components, just showing it. So I think just since they are reusable, it makes it so if you're using similar elements, they are consistent every time you use them. So there was a great example on this video. It just had a great visual on how they can be used. So it shows how there is a similar data set, this one being news articles, that is used throughout this site in multiple times in multiple areas. Without the web components, you would be typing in the information for each one every single time. And that's definitely very time consuming and definitely makes it so the design isn't as consistent whenever you're creating it. So for this, he just showed how you just create the HTML tag for the news article and then define the information that he wants to be in all of the data sets of the news article. Just added that in, imported it, and then you can see right, here we go, here, how it's put in right here, and then clicking over, you can see that the content is put into all of the news article data sets. So it makes it so the design is just very consistent throughout, and I think it definitely saves a lot of time and can be used in many different ways. I think it's also helpful from like a UI standpoint, just with designs and making sure they're consistent throughout. And I think that UX can be showed in this, just a more of a physical description of how that would be used. So these are just showing some components that would be reused multiple times throughout the site. And these ones are using web components to describe what they're going to be looking like each time. You know, for a lot of UX design and sites, you're using, the same buttons over and over and over again. And this just makes it a lot quicker and easier to use and just to maintain the overall design of your site, just to make sure it's all coherent. So I think that's definitely, from my point of view, the best case for using web components, just in regards to consistency throughout your site. Definitely very helpful with time and making sure your whole site is just very coherent.